Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I'm going to be reading a selection from A Course in Miracles. I did want to begin this with talking about the Course a little bit here, because I know we talk about it a lot, but I just wanted to remind everybody that the Course itself refers to itself as a special form of the Universal Course. And there are many thousands of other forms, all with the same outcome. And I also wanted to speak of the gender aspect of the Course a little bit too, because I know it comes up sometimes and possibly could, the pronoun thing could be triggering for some people, but I just wanted to read a section from, this is from the Foundation's website, the publishers of the Course. And to address this, somebody asked a question in the Q&A side of it, and it says, an inner voice dictated this material to Dr. Helen Schuckman, and she took it down faithfully. When she asked the voice why the masculine gender was used throughout, the reply she received was that this course is a reinterpretation of Christianity, and to correct an error, it is important to use the same it is important that the same language be used. Therefore, the course follows the patriarchal Judeo-Christian religious tradition by referring to God and his creations with masculine pronouns. Although this course's words reflect this tradition, its content is truly and thoroughly gender neutral because spirit has no gender. As the course itself states, the course remains within the ego framework where is needed, and uses words which are symbolic and cannot express what lies beyond symbols. So the section I'm going to read is from chapter 5, and it's called The Voice for God. The Holy Spirit is the spirit of joy. He is the call to return with which God blessed the minds of his separated sons. This is the vocation of the mind. The mind had no calling until the separation, because before that, it had only being, and would not have understood the call to right thinking. The Holy Spirit is God's answer to the separation. That means the means by which the atonement, or as I found very helpful to me to pronounce it and refer to it as I like saying the at-one-ment, so I'm going to continue with that expression throughout the rest of this reading. So by which the at-one-ment heals until the whole mind returns to creating. The principle of at-one-ment and the separation begin at the same time. When the ego was made, God placed in the mind the call to joy. This call is so strong that the ego always dissolves at its sound. That is why you must choose to hear one of two voices within you. One you have made yourself, and one that is not of God. Or one you made yourself, and that one is not of God, but the other is given to you by God, which asks you only to listen to it. The Holy Spirit is in you, in a very literal sense. His is the voice that calls you back to where you were before and will be again. It is possible, even in this world, to hear only that voice and no other. It takes great effort and great willingness to learn. It is the final lesson that I learned, and God's sons are as equal as learners as they are as sons. You are the kingdom of heaven. But you have let the belief in darkness enter your mind, and so you need a new light. The Holy Spirit is the radiance that you must let banish the idea of darkness. His is the glory before which dissociation falls away, and the kingdom of heaven, hold on one second. Sorry, I got it mixed up. Breaks through into its own. Before the separation, you did not need guidance. You knew as you will know again, but as you do not know now. God does not guide because he can share only perfect knowledge. Guidance is evaluative because it implies there is a right way and also a wrong way, one to be chosen and the other to be avoided. By choosing one, you give up the other. The choice for the Holy Spirit is the choice for God. God is not in you in a literal sense. You are part of him. When you chose to leave him, he gave you a voice to speak for him because he could no longer share his knowledge with you without hindrance. Direct communication was broken because you had made another voice. The Holy Spirit calls you both to remember and to forget. You have chosen to be in a state of opposition in which opposites are possible. As a result, there are choices you must make. In the holy state, the will is free, so that its creative power is unlimited and choice is meaningless. Freedom to choose is the same power as the freedom to create, but its application is different. Choosing depends on a split mind. The Holy Spirit is one way of choosing. God did not leave his children comfortless, even though they chose to leave him. The voice they put in their minds was not the voice for his will, for which the Holy Spirit speaks. The voice of the Holy Spirit does not command, because it is incapable of arrogance. It does not demand, because it does not seek control. It does not overcome, because it does not attack. It merely reminds. It is compelling only because of what it reminds you of. It brings your mind the other way. It brings to your mind the other way, remaining quiet even in the midst of turmoil you may make. The voice for God is always quiet because it speaks of peace. Peace is stronger than war because it heals. War is division, not increase. No one gains from strife. What profiteth it a man if he gain the whole world and lose his own soul? If you listen to the wrong voice, you have lost sight of your soul. You cannot lose it, but you cannot know it. It is therefore lost until you choose right. The Holy Spirit is your guide in choosing. He is the part of your mind that always speaks for the right choice because he speaks for God. He is your remaining communication with God, which you can interpret but cannot destroy. The Holy Spirit is the way in which God's will is done on earth as it is in heaven. Both heaven and earth are in you, because the call of both is in your mind. The voice for God comes from your own altars to him. These altars are not things, they are devotions. Yet you have other devotions now. Your divided devotion has given you the two voices, and you must choose which altar you want to serve. The call you answer now is an evaluation because it is a decision. The decision is very simple. It is made on the basis of which call is worth more to you.